If you start with the top right being Kirby Kangaroo Club, that's 6 to 12. Around 13, they go to the Claim Your Youth. And then to 18, we've pushed out into the college years, a little past 18, and they grow, become parents, have families of their own. They become ripe for Family Roo. They have kids. They become second generation Kirby kids. And depending on how long Kirby has been at your credit union, you've probably seen this happen yourself. But as far as the actual marketing of how these are used as tools, let's start with Kirby Kangaroo again. As you send, say, a statement insert to your members, so you don't have anything with the youth programs, you don't know how many of your members will be likely interested. You send a statement insert to your members to gauge their interest in whatever Kirby accounts you get signed up there. After 1 or 2 cycles, obviously the parent becomes more involved. There are lots of statistics that tell once a kid's involved with the credit union, their parents become more involved. Then you prompt the parent with another mailing. This time it's just Family Roo itself, because if they're a parent of a child that they want to learn about financial education and things like that, you can give them something that will help them. The newsletter goes from everything from refinancing loans, educational savings accounts for your kids, how to, save money while they're out of school for the summer, all kinds of things like that that would interest that Kirby kid's parent. The way you would move that to Claim Your Youth, as you can see the back and forth arrow there, you can prompt the parent, whether they're a Family Roo parent or not, to financial education and all the benefits of the Claim Your Youth program. As the teen gets more involved, it's just like Kirby, the parent becomes more involved, then they can become a Family Roo parent and the like. And obviously, Kirby to Claim Your Youth, that line outside of just age goes, well, the young kid always wants to see what the older kid is doing. And if you have a teen that's into Claim Your Youth and there's a young child in the house, that kid would also want to be included in your credit union. That's kind of that's a brief overview of the interconnectedness of these programs and how they come together as a suite to actually function to gain the entire household and not just the youth or the young member. Okay. This next slide has kind of been ever-changing. It's a few quick updates I want to get to. So the Kirby app, we introduced that. It's being updated for iOS 8. I know I've told some of you this, and it's being updated for Droid. It's still going to be free. There's not going to be any additional cost for the member or for the credit union, and there are no in-app purchases, etc. There's going to be new marketing collateral for this as soon as it is launched again, so you don't have to worry about coming up with something yourself. We'll have things available, and a little more you'll see later in the presentation. We're also working on branded gift and debit cards. For instance, with Kirby Kangaroo, maybe a branded gift card, and with Claim Your Youth, potentially the branded debit cards. That's still in the works, and you'll get more detail as that comes to fruition. The next, our listserv is now active. I have Amy's email address there. She's the vice president here. If you send her an email, you can even do it during the presentation. She'll add you to the listserv so that you guys can start communicating with each other about best practices. You can obviously still reach out to the Claim Your Youth culture team, but if you want to speak directly to a credit union and your exact same or near your exact same asset size and how they work with Kirby or Claim Your Youth or Family Roo, this will be something now available to you. So if you just send an email to amy@quantum.org, we can get you set up. Lastly, the workbook is now finally for pre-sale. The Curvy Cadet workbook that we've mentioned before, we've hinted at the fact that it's been tested in a few different markets, Maine, Texas, New Mexico, namely. It's now available for pre-sale. Just to go quick go over of what's included. You have the workbook, you have the goodie bag that everything comes in. That's actually a custom goodie bag that I'll get into a little more later. You have the certificate of completion that's within the workbook itself at the very end. The membership card, And you'll see at the bottom there are 3 pins. First one's stainless steel, the other 2 are aluminum. They're meant to be a prize once you've completed the book. Again, there's a lesson plan here for you who are not teachers but want to get into schools. There's also strategy about what these pins actually mean. The first pin is obviously once you complete the book. Kirby Cadet level 1 pin, you get that. But the Pod Forward and the Super Saver have to do with how the pages are actually structured. Each page has a Kirby value. I'll actually show you that. So these are 2 interior pages of the workbook. The one on the right is actually page 1. It speaks to them in their language. We don't try to be too lofty in our approach when we're talking to elementary school kids. It breaks down what a credit union is, because isn't that the most important thing as we're going into these classrooms to try to teach everyone about the movement. And if you can notice, the words highlighted in red are in the financial glossary, which is also included in the workbook at the very end. What I was mentioning with the Super Saver or Paw It Forward pins, just another way to award the kids. You can see on the left, there is a worksheet, basic math. This is one of the lower level ones, but it has 3 Kirby bucks at the top. That's just to indicate how difficult it is. Other ones, like the page on the right, doesn't have a value, or if there's a coloring page, it doesn't have a value. This is essentially so that if you have an incentive system, and hopefully you do set up with Kirby accounts, you can use your Kirby bucks to, if it's for the Kirby plush or whatnot. I have not printed in the books Kirby buck values for any particular item, because again, if you already have that system set up at your credit union, we don't want to undermine what you tell the kids a Kirby plush is worth or the piggy bank is worth. But this is to give you a general idea of what the components of the book. And again, this one's about 22 to 24 pages, so depending on how often you go, most credit unions about once a week, so you have about once a week you have about 2 pages per visit. That's about 12 weeks, so that's about a semester's worth of time that you'll have with the kids off of this one book. What also comes with it, you don't see, is the lanyard with which they can affix the pens, to which they can affix the pens, and there's a glow-in-the-dark pencil, so as soon as you get the pack, they're ready to go right away. There are no additional things you have to buy for them to get the full purpose of the workbook at that point. The next portion, if any of you were at GAC or just happened upon this idea from CUNA, is the Membership Activation Program. Just a few of the quick stats. As you can see, 82% of the members who receive advocacy outreach from their credit union want to do more business with them. That means more wallet share. Building the bond is important to the bottom line. It's basically saying here that if they consider themselves members, they're a lot more willing to be favorably inclined to doing business with you than they would be to a bank. So having your members actually feel like members versus just customers, they're basically saying is rewarding. I believe they surveyed over 700,000 credit union members. The reason we have this here, the newsletters. What we're deciding to do with our newsletters moving forward, in Family Rue, again, that's for the adults. So advocacy messages can actually go into those newsletters. Nothing too pushy, but an actual advocacy message about why maybe credit unions shouldn't be taxed. That's something that we can put in there to say it directly to the credit union member. For Claim Your Youth, we're pushing more of the credit union knowledge. Even in this edition that we're coming up with right now, cooperative, that term is the first idea that we're going to be expanding upon, so that one is in the current edition. And we want to, as we expand on this, touch base on the pay it forward idea again, bring that back in. But essentially, we will make it through all of the major principles of the cooperative movement, so that the teens that are able to be informed about this but maybe aren't in the position to actually be an advocate like the adults are at least on that path. For Kirby, we don't see Kirby as much of a vehicle for the advocacy. For Kirby, we see we're trying to accomplish fun, the idea of fun and recognition. So fun at the branch or fun in school when the credit union visits, but the recognition that their parents and they are with the credit union and not a bank. So just about fun and recognition for them, which is why the first page of the Kirby workbook talks about credit unions in basic terms, because that's the knowledge level they need as you move up to teens, a little more basic knowledge about the key terms and concepts, and as an adult, full-on advocacy, because they can be strong support for you if you're hiking the hill or doing anything, or if you just want a lot of people to show up at your community event. If you have parents involved, like that says, 82% of the members who receive any kind of advocacy outreach from their credit union want to do more business, want to be more involved. So that's what we're going to be doing to try to pursue this member activation program. Again, this is not something any of you will have to be directly involved in. It's just another benefit that we're trying to add to the program. The next part here, we have a guest. Her name is Erica Battle. She's the marketing specialist for Augusta Metro SCU. She dons the Kirby costume often, and she can kind of see the immediate impact in the communities. And as we are getting into best practices and more interaction between you credit unions yourselves to see what might be best, we have our guest speaker. So
I hope y'all are able to hear me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello? Okay. Well, I hope they can hear me too. I was just hoping to speak about, the fact that I actually have worn the Kirby kangaroo costume for about 3 years at our credit union. Whenever I go out in the costume, it's actually kind of freeing because you're allowed to act silly like the kids want you to without actually having to worry about being an adult and having people recognize you, which isn't a bad thing per se, but it really allows you to act out of your normal comfort zone. And especially for kids, they recognize a goofy, silly character. So if you're able to dance and, I don't know, do the Macarena with them or something, they really appreciate the idea of there's this massive creature that is interacting with them. And so whenever I go out in the costume, it's really fun because you speak to the kids in a level that they recognize, which is cartoony characters that they see on TV mostly. They tend to react in different ways, I guess, depending on the age group. I've had young children that are terrified of me, but then I've also had young children that will run across the field to come give me a hug or a high five or even like a fist bump. Just recently we went to Relay for Life. I walked around their field as Kirby, and we had multiple children line up on either side of me to hold my hand, and then they were holding each other's hands because they all wanted to walk with Kirby at Relay for Life. Now the parents, on the other hand, they don't necessarily interact with Kirby. They interact with the handler that I have with me since I can't really speak very well. So it acts kind of as a way as a conversation starter. They come and they ask who's Kirby with or what is Kirby, and then that allows us to talk about the credit union, what a credit union is and the difference with a credit union and why they should be with us. On top of that, they're more of intrigued by the idea that we're doing this for our young members. They like the idea that we have gone out, we have bought a mascot, we're out there doing silly things just to entertain their children or to make them smile. And they like the idea that a credit union, a bank, something that is meant, they feel like, more towards the older generation, their generation, since they're the one doing the banking. They like the idea that we're targeting their children too, that we care about their youngins' financial fitness. But as towards whether they actually come in and open an account is a different thing, but I have had them personally come into our branch, like drive off the road when they saw that sounds bad. They pulled over and came into our credit union just to ask who we were and why we were out by the road waving a sign or something.
And Erica, would you say that the community outreach that you actually have been able to accomplish has maybe changed how your members interact with your, maybe just your branch or maybe the credit union overall?
I definitely think so. Depending on how often we go out, which has been very frequent recently, we've actually had more interaction with our events. Like the number of people that come to our events has actually jumped drastically since we've actually had a physical figure out there that draws attention versus if we didn't have them out there, our numbers of the people coming to our events was much lower.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Erica. If anyone has a question for Erica, you can type it in. We'll have a little Q&A at the end. But once again, thank you, Erica, for being on the program and for speaking with us today.
You're welcome.
Okay, so the next item I want to get into is co-branding. For I guess just like Erica said, when you're actually out there in the community, people are gonna run up to you. The kids are gonna be very excited, whether you're, hopefully whether you're in the costume or not. But what we can do with the co-branding, you're allowed to co-brand the website. You're allowed to customize the newsletters. Things like that, the birthday cards that come out, you can write your message in. So we want to get more on board with making things specific to your credit union. As you can see with the next slide here, just a few of the co-branded items that we've put together. The goodie bag you'll see on the right, that's not typically how the goodie bag looks, but you can choose from any of the Kirby kangaroo insignia. If you happen to like the Kirby image already on the goodie bag, you can go with that one and your logo. Or if you like the one that looks the way it looks on the paw saver, you can go with that one. We're very flexible because these will be truly custom jobs. And this option will become available on the website, but it's best to just go right ahead and email me so we can get into the specifics of what you want, because it's going to end up being that type of interaction either way. If you notice on the far right, they're the metal, kind of the old school nostalgia lunch boxes that can be co-branded front and back. We typically stick to front, where you can have any of our insignia again and your logo, as you can see there. And the one at the middle, you may have noticed the Kirby t-shirts, we're kind of phasing those out as they are, where it is just a flat color and then another color printed on, which is Kirby's face. These are actually going to be full color and fully customized. And you can order in quantities as low as 12 shirts. So we're trying to make it easy for our smaller credit unions and give more of an impact for our larger credit unions that can afford to do this much work. A little best practice that I wanted to add here with the custom t-shirts. So if you have a fun run or a run for life, like Erica mentioned, if you have a vendor that wants to sponsor, we can also print on the back. So the front can look as it is here with any of the Kirby logos or the backgrounds. This one's similar to the Kirby folder. So if you're trying to keep things along the same design scheme, you can do that. And then on the back have the vendor or the sponsor logo printed there as well. Just give us a little lead-in time, and we'd be able to do that for you. And with the lowest quantity I mentioned being 12, you can even mix and match. So 5 larges, 3 smalls, etc., to get you to the point where you want to be. We want to make the customization process as simple and easy as possible for our credit unions. We can technically co-brand anything, just as long as the quantity you're looking for is at a certain level. We can, again, choose any insignia, any way you would like your logo to be, send you a proof, and then it's done. All the items that we do co-brand are typically ones that have about a 2-week turnaround. The items like stuffed toys and things like that take about 90 days, so we don't offer it on those type of items. So here's what's new for Claim Your Youth. We have the marketing collateral for Claim Your Youth. The statement insert, as you see here, that's the back of it. The front, we still have the insignia, Claim Your Youth. We want to see you succeed, because a lot of your credit unions have been with us for quite a while. Your teen account may still say "See You Succeed." You don't want people to be completely confused about the brand, so we are incorporating it still so that people have the ability to recognize it no matter when they started with your credit union. We have so again, statement inserts that you would mail to the parents, the budgeting brochure, and we're going to have a first car buying brochure. Those items would obviously go to the teens themselves, whether in the credit union, in the mail, or if you go to a school, quite frankly. Slide guides, that's going to be a physical item. It's already designed. All of these items are already designed. It's a resource similar to the financial glossary or the payment calculators, etc., that are on the co-branded Claim Your Youth website. We'll be also adding to this site some online quizzes, and we are going to be doing that on the co-branded site because, again, for our members that want to go into schools, or our members that want to allow the teens to have access to this material without having to go into, you all would have to go into the back office to download this. If we want them to have access and for you to have easy access in a classroom setting, it'd be best to have it on the co-branded page, and that way it's obviously, of course, a free addition as well to the benefit of the program. We really want the website itself to be a one-stop. So we're also going to be adding some of the newsletter winners to the website. We're going to be doing a lot more pushing to the website via all of our materials. But these items will be available very shortly. They're already approved. They're in the printing process now, so you'll actually be able to market a little stronger for your teen program or to start your teen program. Now, not everyone actually reports their data to their boards or whatnot, but some of you do. Quite a few of you actually care about the amount of hits your co-branded website gets. If you see here, the graphic images, all of these images are available on the back office of your profile. You go into promote, and they're just right here. You can grab the coding so they can be added to your website. I'm recommending that you put something on your front page. I don't know, everyone may not have the ability to make that decision, but here's the reasoning behind it. Again, as we push members from the newsletters to the website, as we push members from social media to the website so that they have a closer connection specifically to Claim Your Youth and you, or Kirby Kangaroo and your specific credit union, if they go to your credit union site and they can't find where they're supposed to go, you're going to lose them. So you might get you might see an increase in your page views for the front page of your credit union's webpage, but the actual youth site might have dismal results because there's not a graphic image for them to find or even a text link for them to follow. So if not only during the newsletter periods, if you can't seem to get it up there year-round, I would say at least during the newsletter period so that your winners can go and see themselves, see the accolades they're going to get on the website as well as potentially in the newsletter. And at any point, if you want some numbers about it, what I would do, I do a before and after if you don't already report. I'll give you your numbers before or now, and then I'd say in 2 quarters of doing the newsletter outreach, and that's pushing members back to your credit union, take another look. You'll have a 60-day time period there. 30-day I don't think is enough time for a turnaround of actual increase in member interest and an action like going to your site and clicking. you'll be able to compare the numbers, and you can actually get some measurable results that you can take to your board to justify what you're doing, whatever it may be in the realm of youth or community involvement. The next part we have here is the National Youth Involvement Board. I'll give a little introduction. Kirby and Claim Your Youth, which is formerly Sue Succeed, have a long history of cooperative synergy, and at this time, more than ever, actually, both organizations see the benefit of combining efforts as it relates to financial education and the like. Kelly Holloway, who's the Member Education and Outreach Manager of State Employees Credit Union in North Carolina, and a board member of National Youth Involvement Board, is here to speak a little more about NYIB, the conference, and what to expect. So she will be the next voice you hear. Okay, I guess we're having a small technical difficulty with Kelly being able to get on the line again, but I'll give you a little more information about what we were intending to speak about during the slide. The next quarterly users meeting for Claim Your Youth Culture will actually be in conjunction with the National Youth Involvement Board's annual conference. I believe that this is their 40th conference. We've actually done a lot of work with them in the past, and we saw it as the right opportunity to expand not only in financial education, but in the realm of youth marketing in general, as these tools can bring members into your credit union, increase youth account signups, and that's obviously the positive, but the PR around just your credit union in the community itself, which you heard from Erica's presentation. I think we may actually be able to put Kelly on right now, so if you bear with me. Kelly, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was
talking. Your things too much.
Okay, I was talking, and I thought you guys could hear me, and then you said that you were unable, so you can hear me now.
Yes.
Okay, great. Good afternoon, everyone, or depending on where you are, maybe morning or later afternoon. It's about 1:30 for me. Happy to be on the call. Thank you, Marcus, for inviting me. One thing that I'm kind of hearing as a central theme of you all's call today is collaboration amongst collaboratives or cooperatives. And there's no better place to do that than with NYIB. We were founded in 1972 as a grassroots organization and kind of a hub of information and resources for credit unions that were trying to reach a younger demographic. As we know, in the late 1960s, the average age of a credit union member much older than it is now, and we like to think that NYIB had a lot to do with that. Being what it is now and the network that we are, our board is made up of 6 individuals, and we are all around the state. We are made up into different regions. So my region is the Southeast region in helping coordinating efforts for credit unions and leagues in those regions across the nation to help them with resources of reaching youth from elementary, middle, high school, college, and beyond. So one of the most exciting things that we get to do, we have a great network that we reach out with through our listserv. And, at any given moment, someone could ask, I'm trying to give a presentation on student loans to a college-bound group. It's going to be 20 students. I only have 15 minutes. What should I talk about? And then everyone, in our network sees that and can answer that. So it's kind of an ongoing forum and a way to obtain free resources and advice where reaching youth is concerned. So our annual conference is coming up. It's going, as you can see on the screen, it's going to be July 28th through the 31st in San Antonio, Texas. The area is beautiful. If you have not been, this would be a great time to join us. And the three main areas of focus for the conference is going to be youth education, of course, financial literacy, also youth marketing, which is a huge piece, and that third piece is student-run branches. So we're going to have breakout sessions and also keynote speakers speak to those three entities all together to make a very holistic presentation to the folks attending. A good, exciting news for you all is that there is a $50 off offer for the first 20 registrants for the conference. So if that's something that you are thinking about, I would urge you to think strongly in the next few days about joining us, and I'll kindly give out my information if you guys have any more questions about the ins and outs of the conference. We're actually planning a webinar for May 21st to go more in depth as to preparing for the conference, what you need, what to expect, those type of things, and anyone is welcome to join us for that call. So towards the end, if anyone has any questions of how to get involved with NYIB, how to report, or even from a vendor standpoint, how to be a part of that, I know Claim Your Youth will be there, and there's also a special pre-conference this year, which we're very excited about too. So I don't want to take up too much more time, but if you have any questions, I'll be around for the end of the call.
Thank you. I'll add a little more information about the pre-conference you mentioned. That's the quarterly meeting. That is free to anybody who's going to the NYIB conference, and they're a member of our programs. We're not going to ever charge you for our quarterly meeting. It's going to be a treasure trove of information. If you haven't gone before, I'd recommend it. You can meet the Claim Your Youth Culture staff in person and some of the other individuals around the country who are in the same, subcategory as yourself: credit unions, cooperative, financial education, youth marketing, the like. So as we're heading to the end of the conference here, we've just made it a little briefer this time than last time because I wanted to open it up for questions. There's and the prize, the Starbucks gift card, that part was added there. I know no one will really be able to stump me with a question, but we are offering that. If you guys have any questions for Erica, you can feel free to type it in. If you have any questions for Kelly, you can go ahead and type it in, or questions for myself, type them in and we'll answer them. Or you can send me an email afterwards and I'll make sure the answers go to whoever asked the questions properly. So I can open up the lines for you to speak. Is there anyone that does have a question? You can actually just maybe speak up and I'll keep you unmuted. No one with a question right yet? Okay, that's fine. If a lot of times our members are a little shyer. Feel free to email me with a question and I can pass it on to Erica or, I'm sorry. We actually do have a question. The question is, if you're all not able to see it, do you have any plans to offer the printed materials in electronic format such as the newsletters? Well, yes, since we do offer the newsletters and the web-optimized PDF version, we are going to have certain items like the teller stand flyer. That's something that we're going to have. We're not using it anymore in print, So that's something we're going to make available electronically, and that makes it so much easier to co-brand it because we'll have the flyer. We can add your logo to it. You can add your logo to it, and we can send you the file. So for our custom stuff, that's going to be print material. We definitely will make it digital because it's so much simpler to do, and it's much faster turnaround time, and you get a little more control over design elements than you would if you were to just buy it printed. So that is how we're going to be handling that in the future. Thank you for that question. Do we have any other questions? I'll take a look. Okay. I see another one. Do you have an approximate release date? It's going to be, it's 14 days. They were actually approved and sent off to print, all of them as a group. They were approved yesterday, sent off to print, so that should be about 14 days right there. I will send out a notification about it once it becomes available because they'll all hit roughly about the same day or two. So I'll send out a blast letting people know about those new products and that they're available to order. Just to jump in with the Kirby Workbook pack that's available for pre-sale, I will have that item listed on the product page by tomorrow morning. But again, if you want to just shoot me an email, we can do that as well. We're a little informal as it pertains to our products like that. I have another question. What is Amy's email address for the listserv? It is Amy, A-M-Y, at cnm.org, at quantum.org. And once again, you can, well, she's the one that's going to be handling adding you to the listserv. So yes, A-M-Y at cuanm.org. Since the app is not yet available, is there a way to remove the banner from the website? I would assume you mean from, oh, okay, from the Cobranded website. Gotcha. I was thinking about the culture site. Actually, yes, I'll look into that myself because I get your point, as it is about to be relaunched and not available right now. It might be smart to actually remove that until it's ready, and then that'll be one of the items that comes with the relaunch. So yes, that actually is a good idea, and I'll look into that so that we don't confuse the members or any other credit union people. So thank you for that question, Ricardo. Okay. I believe that's the last question I see at the moment. Once again, for the custom items, for the Kirby workbook, feel free to contact me and we can start the discussion. For being added to the listserv, please contact Amy, AMY at cuanm.org. For any questions for NYIB about the great work they do, you can contact me and I will connect you to Kelly. And for any more best practices around the costume and community engagement that you want from Erica, contact me and I will make sure she receives that as well. If there are no other questions, no one stumped me, but I'll make sure a few of those people get gift cards anyway. I hope you guys have a great day. Feel free to contact me once again with any questions or concerns. We will be posting this webinar on YouTube on our channel, Claim Your Youth, so that you can view it again or pass it along. Other than that, have a great day. Thank you for being with us, and thank you once again, Erica and Kelly.